Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome to another Spoilers with Menchaca. This is a spoiler series where we talk about, where we basically do a spoilers review of anything pop culture. Mostly we've been sticking to movies, but this time around, as you know, I've seen the title screen, we're doing Batman versus Superman. We're give you our impressions, what we liked about it, what we didn't like, and of course at the end, we'll be giving a score. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, share us with your friends, and subscribe for more content. And I'm your host, Louis Menchaca, and joining me today, we got the Hood Dork, Troy.
How's everybody doing?
And over here, we have the future journalist, Saul.
Hello, how are y'all?
And you can follow all of us on Twitter. The Twitter handles are on screen. Saul is at Saul Perez __. I am at Chakalaka88. And Troy is at Bracy Troy 21. Bam, I nailed it. What else? Is there anything else to promote? Nothing? Yeah. Just Troy. He's got a YouTube channel, card, all that stuff. Description, annotations. It's all gonna be taken care of. Troy, I got your back. Right. By the way, as a matter of fact, Troy recorded his impressions. He took a different view, a more like a critic's review. A review. It's super meta. It's a review of the critics. Of Batman vs Superman. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm putting an annotation on the screen somewhere right over here. You can click on it, or you can see the card, all that kind of stuff, all that razzle dazzle, all that jazz. So you can click over after this video is done. Thank you very much. So we're getting into it. So we're gonna start off with the good. What did we like? What did it do right? What was good? I'm gonna start off with Saul here because I've been talking to you a lot. So Saul, give me what you got. Go for it.
Well, I really liked it. Me and Troy watched it together. We went to watch it opening night, and countless times we just turned next to each other, wanted to scream because it just caught me personally. I thought it was perfect. I left that movie theater just so happy. It could have been so much worse. Our night could have sucked if the movie would have been bad, but I loved it personally. I walked out of there and I was just so satisfied with. I personally liked the way they kind of introduced the Justice League. I thought it was really cool. It was different, and I liked that it was short and it wasn't. I didn't hear any dialogue from anyone else really, but the Flash. Everyone else was just kind of sneak peek, this is who we are, or whatever. But
that's what you're talking about. I was like, the movie was long as fuck, but I was the Justice League, the Justice League intro, the Justice League movie that's buried in there is short.
Right. Yeah. So it's short. It's to the point. You know what's coming. The source material they ripped off from all the comic books was genius to me. I mean, a perfect mix of everything. Everything was just great to me. The dialogue was good. Ben Affleck as Batman is already the best Batman of all time to me.
Hell yeah.
Henry Cavill was pretty good. Lois is pretty good. Everyone played their part. I loved Lex. I think he wasn't Lex that that everyone thinks the badass, tall, strong, built ass Lex that you want, but Jesse Eisenberg brought to the table what they wanted. They wanted a psychopathic, uneasy Lex that he just kind of uses, he's on edge, and that's exactly what Jesse Eisenberg gave him. And I think he was perfect for that role because you couldn't, for what they wanted him to be, he was perfect because he is a little geeky, nerdy, awkward, and that's really what they wanted. He delivered perfectly. But I walked out of there happy, and I loved it. And I know I get a lot of backlash and people, it sucked and all that, but I loved it. There obviously every movie has its flaws, but for the most part, I walked out of there satisfied, and I couldn't be any more happy, and I can't wait for Justice League.
All right, Troy, what you got?
Me, I enjoyed a lot of this movie. This movie, like Saul said, we love this movie. This movie was great. I feel like, the things that was very important that they needed to get right, I think they knocked it out of the park. You needed to have a phenomenal Batman because Batman is, this movie is about, a big part of it is Batman. And then the future Batmans, he's going to be in Justice League, on and on. So they had to get Batman right. Ben Affleck is the best Batman we've got. He's a badass, throwing dudes through walls, all kind of shit. I felt like the motivation of why Superman and Batman are fighting was done brilliantly. I understood why these two are fighting. Batman's motivation, him being in Metropolis when, Metropolis is getting destroyed by Superman and Zod and people he know is dying. You seeing all that. You seeing it from his point of view, this alien, destroying shit that he loves, and, Flash coming, but, him and getting the dream sequence and shit like that and seeing how this alternate reality, how things could be. Batman felt like shit. I gotta take his ass out.
Kind of like Flashpoint.
Yeah, Flashpoint. And a little bit of injustice in there as well. They had so Batman like fuck it. I gotta kill his ass. And Superman is like this dude is a vigilante. He's people are scared of him. He's killing people. Look, don't be Batman no more. Plus, you got Lex Luthor that said he's gonna kill his mom if he doesn't. So I understood his motivation why they fought. So I understood both of the motivation why they both fought, and then the fight scene was a badass fight scene. The fight scene between Batman and Superman was so fucking cool. Like, it gave me everything I wanted. Shit was good. I love the fight scene at the end with the Doomsday, them three teaming up against Doomsday. That was good. The characters brought it. Jeremy Irons as Alfred, great Alfred. To me personally, and a lot of people might disagree with me in this, but I think he's the best Alfred as well. I think Lois was great. Jesse Eisenberg, I liked him for the most part. Some parts I didn't. I was kind of he was a little cartoony somewhere, but for the most part, I enjoyed him. I feel like everybody brought it. All the characters brought it. The story I enjoyed. The fight scenes were good, and just so much there's so much the action. Zack Snyder, the action is great. And I like how ballsy they were. I like how they was like, fuck it, we're gonna make Batman a killer, even though people are not gonna like that. We're gonna kill Superman, people are not gonna like that. There's certain things that people wasn't gonna like, but they was like, look, we're balls to the wall, gonna do it. And so I just respect that courage that the film had. And so for the most part, I love the movie.
All right, cool. I have not much more to add. I mean, I can only just echo your sentiments. I definitely did like the fight. The Batman versus Superman fight was by far the biggest highlight. There was the action was just done right. I think the Batman scene when he was rescuing Martha Kent was like the best Batman action we've ever seen in any Batman movie ever to date. Like it was just a whole nother it was a very raw, gritty, visceral feel and a very good experience that. Basically, that's almost like a pilot, a backdoor pilot for a Batman solo movie right there.
I want to see one so bad.
They did a lot of good things with the world building and showing the Robin thing, and basically showing that there's a much bigger world out there. And I think that this movie is a good foundation, and in most respects. And I guess I'll just get into the negative on the negative section, but I guess I'll have to circle back to that comment. But just overall, the movie was done well. There was a big ass juggling act for them to do. I kind of wish that they juggled it. I mean, they took certain elements out to do less juggling, but overall, it didn't. A movie of this magnitude and a movie that has this much beats to accomplish, a lot of directors would just simply fail and let it all collapse under its own weight. But Zack Snyder just did a good job.
Yeah.
Good job with what he had. He's like, and but basically everything else that y'all two said. I mean, like I said, I couldn't say enough about Alfred. I mean, that was a good Alfred right there. I mean, he was just a boss.
He's just a boss, a badass. Yeah.
And
better
so
than Michael Caine. Way better.
Yeah.
I mean, he gave me what I wanted from Alfred. I always wanted Alfred working with Batman and tell him this is what you got to do. You kind of got, you didn't get that the Dark Knight trilogy. You got Lex. He got not Lex. Lucius. Lucius helped him out in the Dark Knight when he was
because Michael Caine was more of a mentor. And versus
and I love the Michael Caine too. Don't get me wrong. I love.
He was
Michael
a very
Caine.
classic kind of example. Whereas this one, he's a partner in there helping him out.
He has a military history and everything. But I mean, it was cool. I mean, I liked Wayne Manor, how it was destroyed and Bruce's damage. You could tell he just.
The way it
acting.
looked and
I bought him as Bruce Wayne and Batman. I mean, it was just incredible. He was a really good Bruce Wayne. I like Wonder Woman. I thought she was.
Shout out to Gal Gadot.
She was really hot.
I thought sexy. Sexy as fuck.
She brought it.
She really did. Doomsday, I got from Doomsday. I knew, like, I mean, you didn't. I'm glad that they killed off Doom. I mean, I think he's dead, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's gone because you just kind of get him out of the way. And I knew, like, you know, every time he just kept on evolving. I knew that what the Doomsday we got in the trailer was not going to be like the final form of Doomsday because he evolves every time. You know, you can't kill him unless you got kryptonite. Yeah. So he's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But you could tell he was, you know, he's grown bones and all that shit to look like prototypical Doomsday that we're used to and we love. And there's a badass. We didn't get that far, which is, I mean, I'm kind of glad that we didn't, you know, because we're getting the dark side really quick.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, but I still think you're going to see maybe like a Metello in there somewhere.
A Brainiac.
A Brainiac in there for sure. Maybe I think maybe a Brainiac would probably be saved for like a
Bizarro
Man of Steel.
Superman. Oh my
yeah,
god! I could just imagine.
I think maybe like a Man of Steel, like a solo sequel. Yeah,
Man of Steel 2.
I think that would be saved more for that, but for sure, Darkseid, the Justice League, that'll be great. I mean, I just can't wait. Like this movie, just everything,
it gets you hyped up for the future, for sure.
I can't wait. Yeah. Like I just literally can't wait. I mean, I think even if you didn't like the movie, you like the prospects of God. This is gonna be like you can't wait. Like you're just like it makes you interested in what can come next, what's coming next, and how everything's gonna handle that. I don't know that Zack Snyder should direct all the Justice League movies. He's really good visually, but I don't know that. I think you gotta have like different,
bring in different kind of views.
A different take. Yeah, a different take, exactly. Just like with Marvel, they do that really good. They have different directors, and that's what they do. They do it really well. So I think DC might start doing that, and they will with like their solo films and everything. Who knows? Once maybe a solo film comes out, maybe someone different will direct Justice League 2 because I know Zack's already attached to the first one. So. Yeah. Maybe the second one after solo films come out and stuff that'll propel some other directors to take on more of a leadership role. Who knows? Maybe Ben Affleck will end up directing.
So we're kind of going into territory, and I guess we'll start we'll end the good section because I think all the good was laid out was laid on thick. So we're gonna transition to the bad. But start off with Troy. Troy, what didn't you like about the movie?
Well, what I didn't like is something that I liked, but I could understand how other people wouldn't like it. And I think one of the mistakes you have in making these movies is you never want to rely on the comic books to tell a story because it's some people that might not understand, never read or even know what the hell is going on. And I felt like the scene where Flash is like in the past and he's talking to him like, "Hey, Bruce, you're right." I loved it because I understood where it was coming from. That's like Flashpoint. Like when I seen it, I get excited. But to an average person that's never read comic books,
who the hell is this guy?
It's like, who is that? What is he coming from? What is he doing? It's random. Yeah. It's like this is supposed to be realistic kind of a world. What the fuck is he seeing? And really it was for Batman's motivation to go ahead and say, okay, I gotta kill Superman. But to the average moviegoers, you're like, what the fuck is this going to happen?
I mean, it's not so much that, because I knew that it was Flash. I got it. I understand the reference. Even as a comic book fan, I'm still like, what? Because it was edited so badly. Like, the Flash, the dream sequences happened, and it happened completely, seemingly out of nowhere, because he's trying to hack, he's trying to, like, decrypt the thing at 1%, and then boom, and then this whole fucking Flash thing.
I felt like
and it felt like a dream because he just woke up like as if it were a dream.
The editing is something else that I felt like was a little off for me because I feel like it'll be a certain regular calm scene or whatever, and then it edit boom, and then it's like, okay, now some shit going down, and it didn't kind of transition beautifully into the scene. But a lot of that I give that credit for because it's a longer cut. And so I feel like maybe some of the stuff they kind of like literally had to kind of take stuff out. And so like when like it come out on Blu-ray and it's like a 3-hour cut, it's probably, some of that shit is interweaved better, but so for the theatrical version, I kind of feel like it wasn't edited as good as it needed to be. But I feel like it's probably a reason for that down the line. But yeah, I felt like some of the comic book things, just kind of, it hurt the story as far as an average moviegoer, That's why I feel like a lot of critics might have not liked it as much because they aren't comic book fans, And And I really feel like that's sort of a mistake to do. You want to make it where no matter who you are, you can understand and like the movie just as much, you know? And like for me and Saul, we love it because we seeing it and it's like, oh, hell yeah. But a guy that's never watched a comic book, read a comic book in their life, is gonna feel a little different, you know? Yeah. So I felt like that was sort of a mistake. Not for me personally, because I love it, but I felt like that's sort of a mistake as far as a storytelling tool, you know, a device.
Because I guess what Troy's trying to say is we're left to fill in a lot of holes.
Yeah, you were kind of like left to be like kind of come up with it.
We filled those holes like
from just the comic books.
We didn't think about it. We're just like,
that's from that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to think about anything. It was just understood that that's what
exactly. And a lot of people wouldn't. If you like, a lot of people that doesn't have that way to fill in the hole, that is like a flaw for them. Like, I don't get that. You know, so that's why I could understand that being a problem. Another thing, even though like I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the shit out of Wonder Woman. But like I could understand someone feeling like she just, besides like setting up her movie and setting up like her being in the Justice League, I could understand like, her.
She was just there.
Didn't have to be there. Yeah. Like it wasn't nothing like, Lois Lane, she has to be in the movie to explain like her relationship with Clark and why she's trying to prove that he's innocent. She has to be there. Batman has to be there. Lex has to be there. Wonder Woman, I feel like if you deleted her, like completely took her character out, it wouldn't have affected the movie in any way except it not being as badass at the end when she's help fighting, Doomsday or whatever. So I felt like that with that,
I don't know, I feel like they messed it up because like the marketing had almost all over her entire screen time in the trailers.
I mean, not really. I know because none of her fighting was in there. With Doomsday, like if you look at the trailer, it got her blocking the thing
and her
dashing into the thing, but none of the fight, like battle and none of that was in there. She barely did any of it. She did. I mean, she had a lot of. She cut his arm off. He knocked her on her ass. She get back up, smile. Fucking that shit was badass. Get back on his ass.
Yeah, but that only amounted to like a minute of screen.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But I mean, she wasn't in the movie at all that much. So the little bit they showed make it seem like it's a lot because she wasn't in it that much at all anyway. So
every other shot that wasn't in the trailer was basically some shot where she's at the airport or just. And
another thing that this is something that I kind of after when I first watched it, I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. But after not thinking about it and like seeing like kind of people bring the attention to me, like I didn't like how after they had killed Superman, because I love how they killed Superman. I loved it. But I kind of didn't like how the thing shook a little bit and the dirt kind of rose at the end. And the reason why I don't like that is because I kind of felt like you kind of like you kind of bailed out, because to the audience you was gonna make it like, all right, I killed Superman, like we killed it, and everybody like, oh damn, or happy or however they're feeling. And you kind of say, oh no, he's still alive, guys, don't be scared, And if that's the case, you shouldn't have killed him in the first place, like if you're gonna.
They were doing the death of Superman.
But and then that goes back to what I say about the comics. People to us. That's so cool. It's like, oh, the death of Superman. It's like, but a person that never read the death of Superman, you just like, damn, you killed Superman. Damn. And really, that could have been good because it's surprising. So it's like, wow, I didn't expect that. And anytime you don't expect them, that's fucking badass. But then when you make the dirt shake a little bit, it's like, oh, well, he's obviously coming back. You know what I mean? So I kind of, that's something nitpicking as fuck, But besides that, look, I love the movie for the most part. That's like my little bit of, gripes against the film.
My biggest gripe is that Lex Luthor, I didn't like Jesse Eisenberg's casting. And now, don't get me wrong, I was actually not for it. Like, I was very optimistic about it because I could tell that they wanted to have a different take on Lex Luthor. They didn't want to do the suave, kind of like calculating mastermind billionaire type Lex Luthor that we're used to. They wanted to go for a Mark Zuckerberg type, billionaire kind of situation, and I get that, and I actually think that they were trying to modernize him and bring him up to speed and stuff. The only thing is like it didn't work for me. Like I just like every single line of his was very like yeah, like very whiny and high pitched. It's like yeah, like like no, it just didn't work. It just didn't fit. for me. Like, it just didn't fit with the rest of the movie.
Well, see, for me, that was 50-50. Like I said in my video,
all of it was
like the Luthor stuff was 50-50 for me. I liked it. Well, no, actually not 50-50 because I enjoyed him for the most part. I think it was just certain scenes I didn't like with him. Like when he was like that they showed in the trailer, hi, ooh, Sir Clark Kent, hi. Like I didn't really like that, but I liked him for the most part. But I understand what you're saying.
No, but all of that, like for me, like that. But for me, all of it was like that, and I was actually like,
as far as what Jesse Eisenberg,
I was looking forward to it. Like I was being optimistic, like, oh yeah, this is a good thing. I like adaptation. I like change. Like I think you can't let everything be stale. And so, but this was a bad decision. Like this was bad creatively, and it's not Jesse Eisenberg's fault because he was cast.
He was miscast.
No, hell no. Jesse Eisenberg could have delivered a different performance if he was directed to not be that, to play it differently, to say the lines differently. Like he was only doing what he was told to do. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So for me, there was just a misstep in direction, and hopefully they, his character evolves, because at the end, how he was going crazy, like his character just completely changes in the next movie, that he's not that, whatever. I don't know. For me, that was a big thing. Another thing is that I feel like they abandoned the plot. There was like a plot thread about whenever they were asking the question is like, should there be a Superman? With the whole news things and stuff like that, where they were asking the question about what it means, what he means to the world. And I feel like it's not like they weren't going to give an answer, because I don't think a movie was going to ever give the answer. But I feel like they didn't do that through line, that B plot or C plot, wherever. They didn't really do it justice at all. I just kind of felt like they just abandoned it. Whenever the senator died, well, that's the end of that plot thread. We're not going to talk about it anymore.
I disagree with that a lot, because I feel like the reason why I disagree with that, because I feel like when Superman, when that had blew up or whatever, people were accusing Superman of doing that.
Right. And
when Superman died to kind of save everyone, I think that made people, not realize it, but I think it's, that kind of brought that plot back, to show like, okay, he's back, and he's back to save us. He was gone, but he's back to save us, so, yeah. But I understand what you're coming from.
Yeah, and also, like, I hated Doomsday. Like, I genuinely just hated that. I hated the fact that he was in the trailer. They should have kept it a surprise. I would have rather they did that. And I also hated the fact that his CGI looked like shit. This is a $200 million+ movie, and they needed to at least get it up to Transformers 4 level CGI, and it wasn't even that. It was like very like Matrix Reloaded CGI for me. It's like it just felt, it didn't look photorealistic enough for me, and his image itself wasn't doing it for me. And I as far as like implementation wise, I would have rather they didn't implement them at all in this movie, because Doomsday is Doomsday. That's like putting in Apocalypse at the end of the very first X-Men movie, where he's there for 5 minutes, they fight him real quick, and then that's it. It's like a waste. It is a waste of a villain. And they just didn't do it justice. And the fact that his origin story was this abomination between Lex Luthor's blood, DNA, and Zod, that was a terrible, that's just a terrible, shitty origin story for Doomsday. It's like desecration to me, is what it is. For that, just, you know what I'm talking about. I was like, as a fan, And about anything else that I'm going to say as far as negatives, I just want to leave that to the wayside. I think there was something else I wanted to bring up about it. I was going to say circle around to it. What was, whatever, fuck it. You know what? I'm just going to stop right there. So, what you got?
I also had a lot of the stuff I wanted to say, but yeah, I think I just
maybe some plot holes that we were left to fill.
What do you think?
I filled them, but the average fan can't fill them. Yeah. It's not their fault. It's not. Maybe they could have done a better job. There's some things that you didn't need, but I think the rated R version.
Hopefully they make sense.
30 minutes longer, so maybe they just did a bad job of editing some stuff. What they should have.
That's exactly what I think.
Well, doesn't it make it feel like, especially when we're talking about the editing and stuff, doesn't it feel like in the beginning of the movie when they were jumping from scene to scene to scene, that they kind of felt like they were unrelated? Like we're jumping from the Senator and Lex Luthor having a talk here, and then we're jumping to Superman.
Yeah, but I
saving
think
Lois
Man of
Lane.
Steel was like that too for me.
Well,
Like
the
we're
reason why,
jumping, and it's like it's abrupt.
No, it is. Like in Man of Steel, for example, there's a scene that whenever Superman's in jail, and then he's talking to the the guy through the mirror. He's seeing him. That's your name tag. And then he says like they finish talking, and then all of a sudden they're outside and Batman or Superman and Lois are just staring at each other, like waiting for that. So that, the pacing was,
Well, see, the thing is, the reason why I disagree with it for Batman is because it showed different people's points of view of the same topic. Like, Senator is talking about, the Senator's discussion was, is Superman good or is he bad, and what is he doing for us? Batman is saying, okay, is he good or bad? What is he doing for us? We might need to take his ass out. But that's the same thing. It's just showing it from one from Batman's point of view, one from the Senator's point of view.
It felt very jump cutty though. It felt very jump cutty, and it felt
not for me. The beginning part I felt like was executed great. From all of the beginning part, I think it started getting jump cutty when it was starting for the action and starting to pick when the movie was trying to pick up and start getting more, fun. I think that's when it started getting a little jump cutty. Like when they first showed the desert scene, that was the first scene. I was kind of like, wait, this shit is badass, but okay. And then when they first showed or when they first showed Batman in the armor, I'm like, oh damn, we at this
They
part?
didn't even show that Batman even had armor.
Yeah, he just jumped. He's in armor. I'm like, okay. So certain things.
We gotta stop. Just stop. Until we gotta let it ride.
You can just edit this.
Yeah, I am.
I gotta roll out.
You do? I hate that fucking clock.
It's midnight. I just realized it's midnight.
Yeah, that's what that means. All right.
So yeah, but I mean, it was. I feel like the editing was something, but not for me at the beginning.
Yeah. All right. Let's just let's go ahead and end it here. Let's go to the final category and give it a score. Troy, what you got it?
I'm gonna give it a 7.75.
Fuck you. No.
7.75.
Nope.
And
Unacceptable. Unacceptable score, Troy. Where you do it?
Why?
Because on this show we only do a 20-point scale. It's either 7.5 or
okay. Well, 7.5 because that's only reason why I can do it like that. He won't allow me, but it really more than a 7.5. But that's 7.5.
All right. So
9.
a 9. Okay. Me,
respectable.
I'm going to tentatively. I'm going to side with Troy here. I'm going to give it a 7.5 with the caveat that I'm going to watch it maybe 2 more times before it leaves theaters. So maybe my.
And that's something I also gotta mention too. I'm gonna watch it a few more times. And the thing is, you gotta remember a 7.5 is a high ass score.
It's a good score.
So yeah, don't think I didn't like it because I loved this movie and I liked it more than Man of Steel.
Yeah, I did like it more than Man of Steel. But I was gonna say 7.5 for me. Like, I'm kind of like on the teetering point with you. It's like I might give it an 8, but I want to give it some more rounds to just see what I like and stuff. Like for me, like there was just a lot of. The movie was a competent movie, and that's why I give it a competent score. All right, and that's for me. That's how I'm gonna give it that way. And I just want to just commend it for doing all the things it did with all the things it had the weight of under all that foundation. Just it didn't crack, it didn't break, it didn't fall through, and so as I think I read a tweet on Twitter saying that movie was better than it has any right to be, which I guess in some ways it makes sense. So that's how I'm gonna give it a score. I've been watching like previous spoilers with Menchaca, and I've been giving too many high scores for me. Like I've been like this review is no exception. We typically film a review almost immediately after watching something, and I always feel that high and that buzz, and I'm more likely to give it a high score, but I need to like mellow out. I need to digest it better. I need to be more more thoughtful in my scores. So as a matter of fact, just to give a shout out to myself, or not a shout out to myself, the Avengers Age of Ultron review, I gave it too high a score when I realized after the fact that I was too nice to it. So for me, I want to just be more critical, and that's why I stick with 7.5.
I enjoyed this more than Avengers.
Really? Fuck. I enjoyed Avengers more than I enjoyed whatever. All right.
Avengers Age of Ultron? Or
yeah, I enjoyed Avengers Age of Ultron more than this one. But
I enjoyed both. I enjoyed this one better than both.
Damn.
That's
Okay.
just me.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Leave a comment below with any reactions to anything we discussed. Let me know what were scores. You can start a discussion. Let me know, and we'll go from there. Make sure to like this video. Give us a thumbs up. Share us with your friends, and remember to click that subscribe button. Help us out. Help me out. Actually, that's just help me out, which in turn will help everyone else out. You can follow all of us on Twitter. Twitter handles right here at Saul Perez _ at Chakalaka88 at Bracy Troy 21, and let's see here. What else? Oh yeah, I'll just go ahead and announce it right now. So next Spoilers with Menchaca, we're definitely going to be doing a spoilers review of Civil War. Should have gone without saying, but be sure to look forward to that. In the meantime, I typically do a podcast every week. I'm using with Menchaca. This week may not be a podcast because I don't think I'm going to be taping this weekend, but either way, you'll have this to enjoy. And I'm going to try when this goes live or whatever. Maybe I've already done it, but I'm going to do a live stream, and that'll help me out with just putting content on there. So in the meantime, thank you very much, Saul, for coming through for me. Thank you very much, Troy, for being awesome. Thank you very much, audience, for making this a part of your day. I'm Louis Menchaca, signing out.